She didn't disappear because she was confused. She pulled away to see if you would chase. And when you didn't, everything changed. This isn't a story about heartbreak. It's about power, silence, and the kind of man you become when you stop seeking closure and start creating clarity. If you're tired of feeling like an option, like someone else's indecision is controlling your peace, read on, because this isn't about getting her back. It's about getting you back. 1. She pulled away to see if you'd chase. When she faded out of sight, not with closure but with silence, it wasn't confusion or the need for space, it was intentional. A test. Most men respond by clinging tighter, explaining more, apologizing more, hoping to control the narrative. But that reaction only reaffirms her power. You, on the other hand, don't flinch. You feel the ache, you register the pull, but you understand that chasing would only punish yourself. You stay silent. That silence is not emptiness, it's your refusal to press her emotional power over you. And true power, it's always calm, never frantic. 2. Attention was the drug, you were the dealer. Your attention was once her world. Every message, every like, every sweet text. It was background music she learned to expect. But when validation becomes routine, it loses its potency. That's when addiction settles in, not to love, but to control. The moment you pull away, you interrupt the supply. Now the silence becomes a shock, and what she thought she owned, your focus, your care, suddenly feels missing. That gap? It's painful because people take distance personally. It sparks questions. Why isn't he here? Did he never care? What did I lose? And that void, suddenly precious, is your power regained. 3. Strategic absence. Isn't a game, it's growth. This isn't about vanishing out of anger or spite. It's a deliberate withdrawal rooted in dignity and self-worth. You're not hiding, you're recalibrating. While she stayed emotionally safe, expecting your loyalty, you chose to step back not because she took you, but because she didn't earn your presence. Each day without good morning texts, each unread message, it's not cruelty, it's clarity. It tells the truth. Your presence has value. Let the absence you create reflect the boundaries she never respected. 4. Master emotion or be devoured by it. She gambled on your emotional desperation. She relied on the fact that you'd cave, that your need for connection would override your self-respect. But emotion, uncontrolled, is like a weapon pointed at your own heart. Real mastery comes from feeling deeply and choosing wisely. You don't numb yourself. You don't crush your own feelings. You simply detach from needing validation to soothe them. This is not suppression, it's discipline. Your pain can still exist, but it no longer dictates your actions. By anchoring yourself in inner calm, you neutralize her test and reclaim your narrative. 5. Your pain was her mirror. If she had seen your tears, your anguish, she'd know you still belong to her emotionally, and that realization would ensure your attention her ultimate validation. That might feel satisfying to fade into despair, but it keeps you powerless. When you withhold your pain from display, you rob her of that mirror. Now her absence doesn't reflect power, it reflects loss. You're no longer proof that she mattered more than yourself. Instead, your peace radiates independence, and that shift is the first step toward rebuilding your worth from inside, not from what others thought of you. 6. Women feel deeply, but they follow power. Yes, women are emotional. They feel with intensity. But deep feeling doesn't necessarily translate to compelling desire. Women are drawn not to emotional desperation, but to emotional sovereignty. If you chase her back toward you, she reads you clearly. You're acting from need, vulnerability without gravity. If instead she sees that you can love yourself enough to let go, that you value yourself more than you value her approval. That's magnetic. It's not because you're cold. It's because you've recalibrated your center. Now you embody steadiness, not chaos. And stability attracts in a way desperation never could. 7. Silence forces her to hear herself. While you were busy chasing, she stayed safe, floating through with your voice cushioning every doubt. But silence is different. In the silence, she's alone with her choices and her conscience. Now she hasn't got your presence to validate every move. Instead, those decisions echo back. Why did I step away? Did he ever really matter to me? If that reaction happens, your silence served its deeper purpose, not as punishment, but as catalyst. You're not waiting for her to reflect. You're trusting absence to invite her own self-confrontation. And then, maybe the regret doesn't come from losing you, but from losing herself in the echo of her own decisions. 8. You become the mystery. Unpredictability, when it's authentic, is electrifying. When she could anticipate every reaction, text, apology, every access, you became a known quantity. Predictability is comforting, but it's also flat. When you step back into silence and growth, you're no longer previsible. She checks your story hoping for clues. She scans your page for emotion. But she finds nothing but presence, quiet, firm, elevated. That silence isn't hollow, it's full of your evolution. And that evolution challenges her story. Now she wonders, who even is he now? Is he gone? Has he moved on? She's drawn to the unknown, and there you become impossible to ignore. Final truth. Letting go is the ultimate power move. This isn't a waiting game. This is a transformation. It's not about proving that she'll come back. It's about proving you don't need her to come back. Letting go isn't coldness. It's clarity. You close the door not in spite, but in self-respect. You don't hope to win her back. You hope to win yourself. And if she ever does return, she'll encounter not the version she knew, but the man who stood, silent and unwavering, until he found himself again. That man, he doesn't chase, he evolves. Let that be your anchor. Silent, stoic, sovereign. Your absence speaks, your growth echoes. And that is your story, just beginning.